All right, so we're here at the Total Peep booth. Got Pedro here, and some of these Peep sites you guys have had out in the past, but you also got a couple new products. As far as the Peeps themselves, just looking at them on my initial thoughts, like, well, that looks really big, but what's the reason behind that, and what does your Peep do that other Peeps don't?
So the main two issues with the Peeps these days is the Peep rotation, that every time the Peeps rotates, the strings, depending on temperature, they move. So the design of this Peep will solve that problem, and also Peep glare. So depending on the light angle, you will get some glare on the Peep, and that will change you the perception of where that Peep is, and you will get left and right. So by the construction of the Peep, it will solve that problem too.
And then they do look bigger, but they're not aluminum. What's the weight on those Peeps? What's, I guess, the range? How do they compare to traditional smaller Peeps that guys would be more accustomed to?
So it's a high resistant polymate. So it's basically on the higher end Peeps, it's gonna be 2 or 3 grains more heavy, but on the other ones it might be the same weight or even lighter.
Okay.
So even they look big, they are pretty light.
When I've shot, there'd be days where all of a sudden, like, depending on what the light is, or for some reason everything's just going a little bit right or a little bit left, and it might be that the Peep rotated just ever so slightly so that when I align it with my sight housing, it looks right to my eye, but really it's not.
No, it makes a big difference.
Because it keeps the aperture the exact same no matter how much rotation there is.
Yeah, so you will keep having a circle center on the string, so you will not try to move your eye to get that circle.
Right.
So
yeah, that makes a lot of
most
sense.
of the 3D archers were aware of the light changes and all that. Hunters, we typically blame other parts of the equipment,
right.
But I think it's time for people to realize that the Peep is an important part of the equipment.
Right. And then pick up that release.
So this is another product that we came out with this year. So it goes in the string on the release, and it's basically a release holder to the string. So it snaps in there. So when you are crawling and moving around, that release is gonna stay there. And when you need it, you have it right there. So you just bring it back, and it's ready to use. Despite typically when you are crawling with a handheld release, that we will be all the time hitting the cables, and that has happened to us quite often. So this solves that problem, and you have the release always ready, handy, doesn't make noise. So.
And then you have an arrow holder there as well?
Arrow holder also. So for the drop away rests that are not full contained, we have an arrow holder, so also you can forget about having always that finger above the arrow so it doesn't move around, and it will go up as soon as the arrow comes up. And the last thing that we have will be the hip quiver attachment. So you can put any bracket on the market on this adapter, and you can use the quiver that you have on your bow also on your hip. You quickly attach it, and the big difference with other hip quivers is that the quiver will stay high and here in your back, so you are not going to have movement of the leg, because typically the problem of the hip quiver is that they were attached to the leg, so every time you were moving, you have like basically a flag moving back and forth. So this will stay here without movement, and also when you crawl, you can rotate it. So when you are crawling, the quiver lays flat, so you don't have it back, and you just can move it with one hand to the right position. So great advantage for those guys that do a lot of stalking.
Yeah,
because
definitely seems like it.
Yeah, shooting long range with wind, with a quiver on, it can be tricky.
Oh yeah, you got all that extra surface area on the bow.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, appreciate you taking the time. You
Yeah.
some really neat stuff here. I think I would have definitely tried out one of those Peeps this year. So
Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it.
no problem.
Yeah.